This video is brought to you by PlayAsia. Get $3 off every order via the link and discount code below. It was recently announced that Senran Kagura series creator Kenichiro Takaki has left Marvelous and will now be working on a brand new game at Cygames. Takaki has worked on titles like Senran Kagura at Marvelous for 13 years now. However, as Censored Gaming covered in a previous video, the producer has spoke about how he was running into creative restrictions during development of the upcoming Senran Kagura 7. We now have more information about these issues he's been facing, and the situation also helps highlight how the types of changes and issues that we would tend to see affect games released over in the West are now becoming more of a worldwide thing. In an interview with Japanese outlet Famitsu, the producer answered a range of questions on why he left the company. You can find the full thing linked in the description below, but to summarize, the first question jumped straight to the point and asked why he left Marvelous, to which he talks about the change in restrictions for depicting suggestive content in games. He says that nowadays it's like he can't do anything anymore and that he doesn't like these creative restrictions. Next, he talks about how despite perhaps looking like he was doing whatever thing he wanted in Senran Kagura, he cared about it in his own way and regularly consulted with the parties about it. He says that he was fine with his games not getting the general support, and that having such a variation in games was part of what made the whole game industry attractive. He then says that normally he likes to come up with ideas that make the best out of whatever freedom they are given, but nowadays there's so little freedom that can he really call future games Senran Kagura under these conditions? Would fans even wants this? The next question sees the producer talk about how Senran Kagura's suggestive themes weren't the early elements of the games and were in reality only about 10 to 20%. However, these new worldwide standards seem to ignore the other elements of the games, and this deeply saddens him. He then expresses how he has turned 42 years old and is now married and has a daughter, and explains how he's been asking himself if he could do this for another 10 years. And then the next three and final questions talk about how he will now be joining Cygames and developing a new game that targets a broader audience. He says that he has nothing but positive views towards Marvelous and that this new game project he has is a childhood dream for him. However, at the same time, he explains that it will be hard to have to distance himself from the work he has done in the past. On another note, whilst leaving Marvelous, Takaki has also briefly mentioned that he will be staying on as a producer for his currently in production titles such as Senran Kagura 7. He says that Senran Kagura 7 will still take some time, however, and that he is working on parts that must be changed. After that, either he or someone else will complete and deliver it to fans. How do you feel about what Takaki has expressed in this interview and his decision to leave Marvelous and work on other games? As always, please let us know your thoughts in the comments below and consider subscribing to see more videos on how media is changed around the world. Until next time, thank you for watching.